this is what we always refer to when I'm with everything I'm doing. This is the red list of endangered crafts. We're quite concerned now, as Daniel said already, that COVID is going to have an additional impact on endangered crafts. The research survey we did showed that a lot of people are extremely concerned. We are concerned that our most critical skills are going to be at severe risk now. So we're looking at projects post-COVID to try and do more projects, promote sustainability, promote the passing on of skills and knowledge to the next generation. We've got Steve Tomlin here, who's a stave basket maker, amongst other things. So he's been quite instrumental in promoting the craft of stave basket making, which has gone from virtually extinct to having, I don't know, a handful of makers now, but it's certainly in a better position than it was 5 years ago when the Red List was first started.
Green woodworking that I do has kind of gone through a bit of a renaissance in the last sort of 10 and 15 years, where it's got a lot more well known, and people have come into mainly spoon carving as a very accessible and simple craft, and that's kind of exploded. But certainly when I started out, there were very few people doing it, and I remember I applied and was awarded a Queen Elizabeth Scholarship. When I went for my interview, they said part of the reason they'd invited me was because they didn't know what it was, and they were hoping I could tell them. So there's, a lot of crafts that, whether or not they're endangered or not, are still very unknown, and that leads to problems with just awareness, which makes it more difficult to market yourself. Yeah, so COVID-19, my principal livelihood isn't actually making and selling, it's teaching crafts. I really love all the possibilities that wood gives and the different processes and things that you can make with it. And that then leads me on to researching crafts, and then passing on those skills to other people in short courses. But obviously with the lockdown, all of my work disappeared. So my teaching season runs from April through to about October. But of course, everything's been cancelled. At the moment, we're hoping to start work again in about August. So that's been a real challenge. I was very fortunate to get one of the micro grants that the HCA made available early in lockdown, and for all that the sum of money was very small, it was actually the feeling of support that it gave me that was much more important. The feeling that there were other people who were thinking about me and trying to support me in whatever way was really important at that time, when I was basically looking ahead to the summer and thinking, okay, that's my income gone, what am I going to do instead? So this has struck at what for a lot of craftspeople is their main earning time, in terms of teaching and also going out and doing shows and fairs. And the sort of result of that, in a way, is that we don't earn in a regular fashion. So the government self-employed support that was awarded was based on an average earnings. So your total year's profit divided by 12. But a lot of craftspeople, and myself included, don't earn like that. So we're actually we've been effectively furloughed, but it's the sums involved don't reflect what we should be earning at this time. It's also really useful and really helpful to have making during this time. I live on my own, so during the lockdown, I've been to a large extent very isolated, but having something to do that occupies my head and my hands and projects that I can continue with has been really great for just staying positive and keeping busy. I was going to say, kind of more expressor of some hope, is that, like you mentioned right at the start, one of the effects of lockdown is that a lot of people have turned to craft as a way to occupy their time, and also as a way of helping to kind of cope with feelings of anxiety or uncertainty at this time. And that for all we've seen a lot of courses and that kind of work cancelled during this time. I've been chatting to other course providers who've said they're rescheduling their courses, and they've seen, people are really willing to rebook onto the same course but in the future, but also quite a lot of new interest from people who've maybe started doing something at home on their own, and are looking to get a better understanding by going somewhere and doing a workshop.